what brings you here today, Miles Burnett, Democratic candidate? Oh, and Working Families Party candidate for mayor of Binghamton.
Well, I wanted to stop in today. It sounds like my opponent says he's finally ready to debate, and I thought, no one's more Binghamton than Bob Joseph, so I wanted to see if you'd be interested in hosting a debate here.
It's funny you should mention. I was hoping that we would be able to arrange for you and Jared Kraham to have a debate here on the program. The one thing I always point out, and Jared Kraham knows because 4 years ago we had a debate with the Democratic candidate there, Joe Burns, who was challenging Jared Kraham in the, was it 2021?
Yeah.
Like time flies. So Jared Kraham and Joe Burns were in this studio for a conversation about the issues. So he knows how it works. The thing, since you've never participated in a kind of a debate on this program, one thing that we do that's different from most other debates, we don't stand around with like a little stopwatch and say, okay, I will pose a question and candidate A has, say, a minute or 2 minutes to answer, and then the opponent has a certain amount of time. So it's just a conversation. So
Right.
you understand, and sometimes people listen, they say, wait, I listened and you gave somebody like 42 seconds more time to answer a question. And everybody, the candidates always love just having a kind of an informal live conversation. So you understand that would be okay with you if we just had a conversation about the issues with no stopwatch and nobody with a bell or a gong going off to say you can't talk anymore.
Absolutely. I think what you just said is the most important thing. People are listening, and that's what we want. I've said any day, any time, I'm ready for a debate. I look forward to a robust discussion about the issues that matter most to working families in our city. I really have been encouraging media outlets to reach out and community groups to reach out to set these debates, but it sounds like we want to do 3 of them, and I couldn't think of a better place than right here in WNBF. So I'm hoping that my opponent will accept that as an invitation.
All right. Well, here's the thing, and you may be surprised by this, but in the interest of transparency, about 30 minutes ago, I got a call from Jared Kraham, and it was right before the news. It was right before the news, and so we didn't have much time to talk, and so he also was going to make a debate request or invitation I said, well, why don't you call in around 11:30? So if you hear Jared Kraham on the program in 4 minutes, people say, oh, Jared Kraham's just reacting, because obviously everybody at City Hall is listening to the program. But it was already, just so you know, and the listeners know, I whenever I hear something on the media these days, I assume that it was planned and staged in advance, because that's the way the media seem to operate. But this show is just completely live and totally transparent.
Yeah, and that's what I appreciate about it. And I think that people...
in fact, who knows? What if Jared Kraham is walking down now?
We both love
Wouldn't it be funny?
WNBF. I mean, you can be a Trump Republican like him,
you could be anybody.
You can be me on the Working
Or you
Families
could be
line,
like me.
and you love WNBF and Bob Joseph. So.
Here's the thing. This is, one thing I think it's safe to say is you and Jared Kraham and me, we all love the city of Binghamton. The
Absolutely.
only difference between me and the 2 mayoral candidates this year is I've never registered with a political party.
Oh.
Ever.
Well, but you vote.
Oh, I vote.
Oh, good.
I
That's
vote.
the most
But I
important
never
thing.
reveal who I vote for. People think, well, I listen to the program, so I know exactly who he votes for. And it's like, you might be surprised, or you might not. But it's because I've always wanted, as a journalist, because before I got this talk show assignment, all I did was report. I always wanted to be, excuse the expression, because this sounds like it comes from Murdoch News. I always wanted to be fair and balanced, even before it became a cable news cliche. I would always strive to be fair and balanced to everybody when it came to politics or anything else. So that's always been ultimately my goal.
I never wanted to be a radio man myself, but I actually wanted to be a fireman.
Really?
When I left the state senate, in January, I went off to take the fire exam I thought I did terrible on it, and it turns out I got 100 on it. So then I thought,
Really?
oh, crap, I got to get in shape here. But, you think you have a plan, and then God laughs, throws you a curveball, and here I am fighting for people and elevating the discussion about the issues that matter most to them, running for mayor. And I think the people deserve a chance to compare my new vision for the city with my opponent's commitment to the status quo in real time here at WNBF.
Okay. So will you want the questions in advance?
And I don't mind not having them.
No, because I don't give.
Oh,
I just
good,
wanted
yeah.
to make sure because
no.
some people think, well, I heard CNN gives candidates during debates they get the questions in advance, but hey, nobody knows. I always want to point that out to our listeners that when we do a discussion with candidates, nobody knows for sure what questions I'll ask. I mean, any savvy candidate, you would know, and Jared Kraham would know probably most of the issues I would bring up because this is Binghamton.
It's no secret what they are.
Yeah. So anyway, you're proposing a 1-hour discussion about the issues with Jared Kraham on this program?
Sure, let's work out the logistics, but I want to make sure we get one on WNBF.
Okay. Well, I'm committed. I definitely am committed to doing it. Do you have any specific constraints as far as when? I mean,
No, I've said repeatedly
Okay.
since the launch of this campaign, any day, any time.
all right. Well, again, coming up, I believe momentarily, we'll probably hear from Mayor Kraham.
Okay.
And my sense is, because he had indicated he was going to make essentially the same offer to you, my sense is we're going to have a spirited discussion at some point. I'm sensing maybe sometime in late October or whatever, but we'll work out the schedule between you and Jared Kraham, and I think it'll be useful not only for the voters, but even for the candidates.
Absolutely, and it's a discussion, right? People get caught up in the debate world in that phrase, but they deserve a conversation, and I'm happy to have one. I think Jared's a nice guy, and I would like to talk about the issues that we're facing here in Binghamton.
Yeah, I think, again, we all want Binghamton to continue being a great city and to continue to improve in the coming years. So thanks for popping in.
Of course.
Again, open door policy, and even Mayor Kraham knows he could pop in here too.
And careful what you wish for.
Would that be fun? It's like,
Imagine.
It's like, oh, Jared, and then suddenly it's like the Endicott mayor. No, he doesn't
It's
come
nice
on.
to be sought after, isn't it, Bob?
Well, the way I look at it, it's the only show in town, so it's not as though people have options. So, but I am glad that we're able to, basically perform a community service with discussions like this. So thank you. Miles Burnett, the Binghamton Democratic and Working Families Party candidate. Oh, by the way, I was going to call you up. Did you have a good conversation or a good meeting? What was it, a little over a week ago with the Democratic? Some people think he's going to be the next mayor of New York City. Did you actually have a chance to talk with him?
I did. I had a conversation with him and mayors from across the state, Sharon Owens in Syracuse, Dr. Elpres in Albany. We sat on a panel and talked about the real serious issues that all of our cities are facing, which is housing, public safety, youth services, and our small businesses that need help. So it was a great conversation. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but we do believe that working people in this state need more.
Were you surprised that Republicans seized upon that event and used it as early campaign fodder against you?
No, I wasn't surprised, but I am always curious as to why they don't learn their lesson. I think that running a positive campaign and running on your accomplishments is much better than being on the attack and trying to confuse people. But they think they have a right sauce to it, and I don't think it is. So, no, I wasn't surprised, but there'll be more of those baseless attacks, I'm sure.
Well, stay tuned. Miles Burnett, thank you. He's in the studio. By the way, we have a call on the WNBF hotline. Hi, is this Mayor Jared Kraham?
Bob, good morning. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear from you. Did you hear that Miles Burnett stopped by the studio?
I had called you earlier to call in, but I had not heard that, no.
Yeah, I told him and the listeners that you had called at about 10:55, and just because we didn't have much time between your call and the start of the network news, I asked you to call in about 11:30. So thank you. So at any rate, Miles Burnett has agreed to participate in a conversation on the issues that are facing Binghamton residents this year. And I know from talking with you off the air that you're very interested in also participating on the program.
That's right. And I can clear my schedule, Bob. I think we should do it this week. How about Thursday or Friday on your program?
No, I'm not going to do it in August. Unless we do lots.
What?
I mean, we definitely have to do one in October.
Well, I think that my opponent said anytime, anywhere, and I'm giving the time and I'm giving the place, and I'm happy to do it right now. I think we have a lot of urgency, and to date, my opponent has not said anything about plans for public safety, for police staffing. And I think that these issues are critical actually heading into a budget season here as I do the 2026 budget. I think we should do it. Why
well, could we also do a separate hour, say a week or so before the election in late October?
I would want to do it prior to early voting starts, which is, I think, a couple weeks before that.
All right. I mean, say within the week or so before the start of early voting.
I would have no problem with that. But
well, Miles Burnett,
again,
what do you think about this? Having a conversation, a live conversation with Jared Kraham in this studio sometime over the next few days before the end of the week, in addition to one before the start of early voting in October.
I'm happy to talk with Jared anytime about my record and how I believe.
So you would be willing to come into the studio this week?
I'm only a few doors down at our new campaign office.
And in October?
Yeah, I know my opponent wanted to do 3 debates. If he wants to use 2 of them for this, then that's his choice. But I think it's important that we're meeting with people where they're at, and they're at their radio often. So
well, a lot of people are listening. Mayor Kraham, what do you think about Thursday at 10?
How about we do Thursday at 10 o'clock? That sounds good to me.
What do you think, Miles Burnett? Would Thursday at 10 work?
Let me see. Thursday at 10 would work.
Let's do it. Let's do it live.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mayor
Let's
Kraham.
book it, Bob, you'll start selling ads now because I'm sure the ad department will be the phones will be ringing off the hook.
Well, not only advertising, but probably people requesting tickets for the limited seating here in the studio.
That's right. If there were ever a time to do a WNBF live cam, as you've been talking about for many years, Thursday would be the day to do it.
It could make its debut. Okay, we will see you, Mayor Kraham, along with Miles Burnett here in the studio, and we'll talk on Thursday between 10 and 11 about some of the city issues.
Thanks, Bob. See you then.
Thank you, Mayor Kraham. All right, and Miles Burnett, thank you. I mean, that was easier than I expected. I mean, sometimes, logistics get in the way, but we can have this conversation this week. And then sometime in October, before early voting begins, we can have another conversation about whatever else needs to be discussed for Binghamton residents.
Absolutely. They deserve it.
I feel like we've accomplished something here.
It's Tuesday morning. We get a lot done.
We do.
Yeah.
It's not even noon. I think I'm going to leave early instead of going out and doing a lot of reporting. Yeah, a lot of reporting in a hot afternoon. I think my work here is done. And we will have a great conversation. Thank you. Thank you, Miles Burnett. And also thanks to Mayor Jared Kraham. Circle it, kids, in your radio guide. It'll be Thursday morning from 10 to 11 on WNBF Live.